Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Neva, this is Reading with Neva, and today we're doing the birthday book haul. So my birthday, from the time that you're seeing this, the upload date, was exactly a month ago. My birthday is November 8th, and when you are seeing this video, it is December 8th. So I want to make sure that everyone who wanted to send gifts had the opportunity to. And then I also went book shopping throughout the month. So, birthday book haul. Basically, this is all the books that I have received in November. And yeah, this is basically just all the books I've received in November. And if they were given to me by a specific person, like I did not purchase them for myself, then I will let you know who sent me what. So I'm just going to kind of start from the top of the box and move my way down. These aren't in any particular order. I will say really quick that there is one Kindle book. Also, this is a different angle because usually I film with my camera over here on the table. But anyway, there is one Kindle book that was sent to me by my friend Coda. He sent me a couple of other physical books as well, but he did send me Pod as a Kindle book. I guess I had it in my wish list as a Kindle book instead of as a physical book, so that is on my Kindle, but I can't hold it up for you. So I just wanted you to know that Coda did send me that for a buddy read. But let's start from the top. So the first book that's just in the top is Ashes of the Sun by Django Wexler. This was given to me by my friend Brittany. This is her one of her best books of 2025. I think this one might be her best book of 2025, like specifically. I know she has kind of a list of best books, but I know that this was one of her favorite books. She's raved about it, 5 stars, all the things. So I can't wait to read this. This is on my list for next year. I think I put it on my 25 and 25 actually, as like a travel book. Super excited to get to this one. So in the same vein as this one, we also have the second one, which is Blood of the Chosen. And this one was given to me by my friend Brianna from For Paws in a Book. Brittany's channel is Brittany Loves Reading. I'm going to have everybody linked down below, so you'll be able to go follow them. If the people that I got these gifts from have channels, then you can go follow them. But Brianna sent me Blood of the Chosen, so I have no excuse not to read the first 2 books back to back, and then I'll make another trip to go get the third book. I probably will buy the third book at the beginning of 2025 just so that I have it. But I'm so excited to read these, so yes. All right. Then we have Hexed. I've actually already read this book. I did end up buddy reading this with my friend Katie, but this is one of the books that I got at Barnes & Noble. One of my siblings was like, here's a $200 budget between Christmas and birthday, and I got $200 worth of books. So this is one of those books. I did get the Barnes & Noble like exclusive edition, so it's super like shiny and foily, and I did give this book 6 stars. We love it. And look at all of these tabs. We love to see it. So I have read this one. I think this is the only one in the box that I've actually read already, like read since I got it, because I have a couple of special editions in here as well. But Hexed, yes, we love it. All right, the next ones that I have, these were given to me by Ari and Ryan, and they are the special editions of Legends and Lattes. These are going to go over here on my little special editions shelf that I have going, but they are the special edition hardcovers of Legends and Lattes and Bookshops and Bone Dust. So these have like, they're hardcover, like I said, so they have some hardcover art on them, and then they have like all new end pages. Absolutely gorgeous. If you know nothing about me, I love the Legends and Lattes books. It's one of my favorite cozy series, and I'm not really a cozy girly. I'm gonna actually set these over here so I can put them, so I remember to put them over here on my special edition shelf. But I'm not really a cozy girly, but I absolutely love these books. They remind me of like a D&D campaign, like when you're taking a kind of having like a layover or a break in a D&D campaign, and I absolutely love them. The next one that I have is another one that I got at Barnes & Noble, and that is God of Malice by Rena Kent. I know somebody's going to say something about this book. I did give this book 3 stars. I wanted it to be a little bit darker. However, I really love these editions that are the paperbacks with the sprayed edges, and they have a few other ones at Barnes & Noble that are the same covers. I don't like the man covers that they have, because at least with this book, which is the only one in the series I've read, the man that's on the cover doesn't fit like the aesthetic of the guy in the book. It like doesn't fit the aesthetic of Killian. So this is a dark romance book. I did go ahead and get this because again, I really like this edition and I want to collect the rest of these specific editions to have on my shelf. I've been told by my friend Brooklyn that this series gets better the longer that you go, which happens sometimes. I didn't hate this book. I thought that this book was really good. I did give it 3 stars just simply because I wanted it to be a bit darker than it was. On reread, I maybe would give it like a 4 instead, but I just wanted it to be a little bit darker. That's all. So 3 stars for me is still a really good rating. It's when we start to get into like the 3.25 to like, or not 3.25, the like 2.75 and lower that we're starting to get like more, I guess, bad ratings. But a 3 star is kind of just the middle of the road. Like, I will be continuing this series. This just wasn't like my favorite of all time, you know? All right, the next one I have is also from Barnes & Noble, and that is The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. I remember when Brienne Randall was advertising this book on Instagram. It was all over my Instagram feed. I think it was last year? I think it was last year, and I saw it everywhere. Yeah, it was last year. And this is like said to be for fans of Practical Magic and Gilmore Girls, and I'm so excited for this one. I even like made sure to get some Gilmore Girls bookmarks specifically to use to read with this book. I probably won't get to this until next year's spooky season just because it is like a witchy book. I've heard some mixed things from a couple of my friends that have read this that I do trust, with there being maybe some like evangelical stuff in this, or like feeling like the author is maybe an ex-evangelical, but I'm willing to give it a chance. And it was really, I don't know, I really like the cover. I just think that it's such like a cute fall vibe book. So that's the next one. Then I did receive a book that I've actually already read. So I've read this book as an audiobook, but I want to do a reread and annotate, and that is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. This was given to me by my friend Julie from Keep Calm with Books and Coffee. I always get her channel wrong, but that's what it is. Keep Calm with Books and Coffee. Like I said, I'll have everything linked down below. This has been on my wish list for forever because I wanted a physical book to annotate, and this one is like super floppy, but I absolutely love Talia Hibbert and I really loved this book. I have not read the rest of the series and I need to, but I want to do a reread of this in 2025 so I can read the rest of the series. But I really loved the chronic pain representation that we got in this book. As a person with chronic pain, sometimes chronic pain is not represented very well. It can be represented as like someone being lazy or kind of like using it as an excuse, and that's not really what happens in this book. And I loved this book when I listened to it, so I can't wait to do a big reread. So thank you to Julie. The next one I have is another one that I got at Barnes & Noble, and I literally got it because look how gorgeous the edges are. Okay, let's give these edges the moment that they deserve. But that is Bloodguard by C.C. Robson. I don't really know anything about this book. I know that it is is this the one that's Gladiator? Yeah, it's like a Gladiator book, and I loved the inside, like, dust, or the inside, what is this called? End papers. But this is like this is on my 25 for 2025. 25 and 25, and this is like a Gladiator book. I believe it's romantasy, but I saw it at Barnes & Noble and I was like, I have to have this book. I've seen it at some other places as well, but I just really needed it, and it's so pretty. It's just such a gorgeous book. I do know that this was in like book of the month, I think, as well, with the sprayed edges, which is crazy. So I grabbed this. We're really trying to be in our romantic-y era next year, so fingers crossed. The next one that I got is also from Barnes & Noble, and that is The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. It has Hades in it. I was told originally that this was a Hades and Persephone retelling. Brittany, my friend Brittany, has read this book and she said that it is not. So then I heard that it's actually being compared to Percy Jackson, and I love Percy Jackson. So we're going to read it. Regardless, we're going to read it. Plus the edges are gorgeous, and the girl at Barnes & Noble, like the cashier, told me that she really enjoyed this book. So I'm taking like a bookseller's recommendation, you know? I know nothing about this book other than it's not Hades and Persephone retelling, but it is a mythology, a Greek mythology retelling. So I'm really excited for this one. I know this is like Percy Jackson, Hunger Games kind of vibes, so we love to see it. The next one that I have was gifted to me by my friend Nell from Nell Diamond, and that is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I have read one other book by this author and I did not like it, and that was To Bleed a Crystal Bloom. I did not like it. There was one, I gave it 2 stars because there was one specific thing in the book. I can't even really tell you what it is because I feel like it's a spoiler. I've talked about this book before though on my channel, and I couldn't get over it. This specific thing, it just creeped me out, but I have really high hopes for this book. Plus this has like the gorgeous like blue edges. We just love a sprayed edged book. So this is also my 25 in 2025. Regardless, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I do not ever unhaul books that were given to me as gifts. They will always stay on my shelf. I could tell you that it was the worst book I ever read, and it will still live on my shelf because someone took the time to gift me that book. And usually the books that are gifted to me are straight from my wish list. There are some exceptions to that. Like I know that for Christmas, Rainy is sending me something that, my friend Rainy is sending me something that is not on my wish list, but I trust her to send me something that she knows I would like. But for the most part, the things that people send me through the mail are from my wish list. So if I've put them on my wish list and then I don't like it, it's my fault. It's not the person that sent it to me. So I hope to love this book. I need to love this book, and here's why. Because Rainy loved this book, and so did Brittany. Now, first of all, Brittany and I are not romantic-y girlies. Like, we're trying to be romantic-y girlies. This is the book that is making Brittany want to read romantic-y, and now I have to know. So it's on my 25 in 2025. I will be getting to it in 2025. And if I do not get to it in 2025 and you see me at the end at this time next year and I'm like, oh, I never read this book, someone needs to fly to my house and just smack me, because I will be getting to this. It is pretty chunky. I think it's like 600 pages, but regardless, 542, but regardless of how I read this, I don't know, I may choose, the text in it is not bad, so I may choose to actually sit down with this hardcover and actually read it, but I'll stop talking about that and let's go to the next one. All right, the next book that I got is also from Barnes & Noble, part of the Barnes & Noble haul, and that is The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. First of all, I have 2 Gilmore Girl bookmarks, and I will be using one when I read this book. I do not care. Y'all, if you know anything about me, you know that I love Gilmore Girls. I rewatch the Gilmore Girls every single year. It is a show that my mom and I used to watch on TV when it was like a weekly show. It's just very nostalgic, and it harbors good memories with my mom, which I don't have as many of as some people might, and so I hold on to the ones that I do, and Gilmore Girls is one of those things for me. I need Alexis Bledel to now write a memoir because Lauren Graham has already wrote one, and now we have one from Kelly Bishop. And I know from seeing other people read this, Jan has read this from Jan Agaton. If you don't know who she is and you're on my channel, I don't know what you're doing, because we love Jan on this channel. Jan read this book earlier this year, maybe like a month or so ago. And I remember she was posting about it in her stories, and she said it made her cry. So I know that this thin memoir is going to make me cry. I do not rate memoirs, but I feel like I'm going to give this one 6 stars. I don't rate memoirs because I don't feel like I should be rating other people's lives, but I just don't foresee anything about this book being less than perfection for me. So I can't wait for this one. I will be finding a way. I think Brittany and I are going to buddy read this, so I will be finding a way to fit this into 2025. I think Brittany and I are still planning to buddy read it, and I probably will be getting the audio just so I can listen to Kelly Bishop tell me her story. But even if I don't, I will read it physically, and even if I do get the audiobook, I may follow along in the actual book so I can annotate. So moving on. This one is also part of the Barnes & Noble haul, and that is The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Penaranda. Hopefully I said that right. Listen, I got this book purely for the beauty of it, okay? Because first of all, gorgeous, right? Sprayed edges, right? Gorgeous. But then if you take the dust jacket off, the hardcover is its own cover. I mean, it's gorgeous. Am I wrong? It's an absolutely gorgeous book. Like, I would display this book just like this without the actual jacket on it. Plus, like, when I'm reading it, I can hold it up and like show it to you. Plus, it has these beautiful gold end pages, and then when you turn into it, it has this gorgeous artwork. I mean, it's just a really pretty book. Now, I have heard that this book is not good. Brianna said it was pretty boring. Brittany, I think, liked it at first and then ended up giving it like 2, maybe 3 stars. It just didn't end up being a book for her by the end. Watch me be the bestie that loves this book. Watch me be the one that reads this and is like, this was a wonderful book. I loved this book. Even if I hate it, it will still be displayed. So there's that. All right, the next book that I actually have 2 of the same book, but they're different editions because I'm going to explain why. So originally I went to Barnes & Noble and I got the Barnes & Noble special edition of Air by Sabaa Tahir. I've read nothing by this author, so just so everyone knows. I saw this on an end table as I was walking into the store, and I was like, look at this gorgeous edition, plus like the inside is like blue, and I was like, I have to have it, so I got it. But then, like 2 days later, I went to Walmart, and they had the Walmart exclusive edition, because Walmart is getting exclusive editions, and I apologize, I haven't taken the stickers off these ones, but Walmart exclusive edition, and it's pink. Excuse me, it's pink, and the pink on it is like foiled. The gray on this one is foiled as well, or the silver, and then the map is pink. I'm sorry. Also, I need more fantasy books to put their maps as like end papers. And then the outside looks like this. So on this one, the outside looks like this, but in blue. I don't know. I just needed the pink, okay? Like, I literally looked at Ryan and was like, I know that I just bought this book, the blue version, like the Barnes & Noble edition. Like, I'm so aware that I just did that. I was like, but I'm about to just spend, I think this was $20 or something. It retails for $22, so I think this was like maybe pretty close to retail, but I was like, I have to get this because it's pink. So I spent part of my birthday money on the pink edition. So we have 2 editions of this book. Hopefully I love it, because otherwise I have 2 like exclusive editions of this book for no reason. But it's what we do. We buy all the pretty books. It's fine. All right, then we have another gifted book, which is Feybound by Sarah Elarafi. I've also read nothing by this author, but this book was given to me by my OG subscribers, ML and Ollie. We absolutely love ML and Ollie in this house. Okay, they have basically become Ari's grandparents, according to Ari. So they sent me this book. This book has been on my TBR, on my wish list for 500 years, but they sent this to me this year. I know nothing about this. I believe it's sapphic and it has dragons. That's all that I know, and that's all I need to know. You know what I mean? So thank you, ML and Ollie. Then we have another gift from Ari and Ryan, and that is the Hunger Games Illustrated Edition. This book is so heavy, so I'm not going to hold it up for very long, but I saw this at Walmart and I had to have it. I absolutely had to have it. And the hardcover is so pretty. So if you don't know, I love the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is right up there with HP for me as far as like nostalgic series. It just so happens that the Hunger Games aged better, you know what I'm saying? But I plan on doing a reread of the Hunger Games this year because I can, and I will be reading the illustrated edition for the first book just to really take it in and read it. I think that this will kind of be a read as I go type thing. I'm not going to rush it. And I'm not going to annotate this copy because I do want to be able to read it to Ari. So I'm not going to annotate this copy, but I probably will buy well, I am actually getting the special editions that are coming out, like at the beginning of 2025, and you get the 4 books. And then of course we have Hamish's story coming out in early 2025. I'm so excited. So I'm so excited for that. But I had to have this, and I hope that they do an illustrated edition for all the rest of the books as well, because I would love to have them all on my shelf. But let me see if I can find some artwork that's not like spoilery for anyone who maybe hasn't read this book. But the art is just black and white art, and I just think that it's just so pretty and gorgeous. So thank you to Ryan and Ari for this beautiful edition of this book. And then the last 2 books that I have are both from my friend Coda, and Coda also sent me Pod. So Coraline is the first one, and I actually have never read Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I know Neil Gaiman is not a good person. I'm aware, okay? I didn't know that when I put this on my wish list, and I actually didn't even realize it was still on there. But I've actually never, compared to the Hunger Games, this book is so light. But I have never read Coraline. I have seen the movie 500 million times. I absolutely love the movie. It's one of Ari's favorite movies, but I've never actually read the book. So I believe Coda and I will be buddy reading this sometime in 2025, and I'm super excited for that. It's really a thin book. It's like a novella almost. It's only Coraline Q&A. Okay, this is like the 10th anniversary edition. That's cool. Yeah, it's only 160 pages. So this is technically a novella length book, and I'm really excited to read it. Ari keeps asking me to read it to her, but I've been told that this book is actually scarier than the movie. So, and the movie is pretty like borderline for like what I think Ari would like as a scary movie. So there's that. And then Coda also got me Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. This has been on my TBR for a long time. I'm really into weird girl horror. I like horror in general, but I really like weird girl horror, and sometimes the weird girl horror that works for me doesn't work for other people. But Night Bitch is one that I have been wanting to read. This is a book about motherhood. Yeah, and it's about motherhood. I'll just read the back. It says, an ambitious mother puts her art career on hold to stay at home with her newborn son, but the experience does not match her imagination. 2 years later, she steps into the bathroom for a break from her toddler's demands, only to discover a dense patch of hair on the back of her neck. In the mirror, her canine suddenly looks sharper. Her husband, who travels for work 5 days a week, casually dismisses her fears from far away hotel rooms. As the mother's symptoms intensify, her temptation to give in to her new dog impulse impulses peaks and she struggles to keep her after canine identity secret. Seeking a cure at the library, she discovers a mysterious academic tome that becomes her Bible, a field guide to magical women, a mythical ethnography, and meets a group of mommies involved in a multi-level marketing scheme who may also be more than what they seem. An outrageously original novel of ideas about art, power, and womanhood wrapped in a satirical fairy tale. Rachel Yoder's Night Bitch will make you want to howl and laugh in recognition. Now, I know some people do not like this book because of the theme of motherhood. As a mother, I tend to like themes of motherhood in horror, because sometimes it allows you as a mother to, this is my experience, I'm not speaking for every mother, but in my experience, it sometimes allows you to feel seen. So I can't wait for this. And then this is a movie, which I didn't know it had been made into a movie. So I think Coda and I plan on buddy reading this and then watching the movie. But that is all of the books that I got for my birthday in my birthday book haul. So thank you to everyone who sent me books this month. And I'm actually going to do 2 honorable mentions really quick because technically I got one of these came in December, but I had pre-ordered it, and one I did get in November. So Icebreaker, this is the special edition of Icebreaker. I did get this in November. It's technically not a birthday gift, but it is a book that was hauled in November, so I'm counting it in this. So this is the special edition of that. This is like the collector's edition, and it's hard to see on camera, but this is like sparkly like snow, and then got this on the inside, and then there is like a bonus chapter at the end, which Brittany and I didn't know when we pre-ordered this, and she was like, did you know there's a bonus chapter? So I'm super excited. And then the actual book looks like this, and then we have Wildfire coming out in April, and then I'm hoping that we will also get Daydream, because I think Daydream and Icebreaker are my favorite ones, but I think I may like Daydream the most, if I'm honest. So there's that. And then this was just released the other day, and that is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This is the collector's edition with sprayed edges. It is like signed on the inside. And then there is some fan art, some really, not fan art, but like really pretty artwork on the inside as well. And Emily McIntyre didn't announce sprayed edges as well. She did announce that we will be getting the entire collection of Never After novels in these special editions. They will just be staggered out. So I'm really excited to get all of these as well. But that completes my book haul. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who sent me things for my birthday. It's never a requirement, but I really do appreciate when people send me books. It honestly makes me so happy. I think at this point over half of my library is gifted books, that just from people sending me books since I started booktube, and it really does mean so much to me when y'all send things to me or to Ari or whatever. And okay, I'm gonna stop being gushy, but I just love when y'all send me things, because it just makes me know, well, I mean, I know you're thinking of me, but it's just very appreciated. I tend to get very emotional like when I open packages from people, which is why I don't do big unboxings on my channel, because I tend to get really like emotional and I like cry and stuff. It's kind of embarrassing. But if you have gotten this far and you don't really have anything to say down below, go ahead and leave me like a book stack or a birthday emoji, something along those lines. Also, if you have read any of these books and you think that I should start somewhere, let me know. If you haven't read any of these books but you are curious in them, let me know that too. The only book that I've actually read out of all of these books so far is Hexed, and I absolutely love this book. I gave it 6 stars. I need to redo my tabs because some of them are sticking out a little bit too far, but there's just so many tabs in here, like so many. So that is all that I have for this. Thank you so much for watching. All of my links are down below, things like Instagram, wish lists, Patreon, which we are going to be getting some Patreon content in 2025. So if you want bonus content, go subscribe there. There are 4 tiers, I believe. So go subscribe there. It's going to be a good time in 2025. And I will see y'all in the next video. I love you all so much. Goodbye.